Woo. Yes, so today I will be going to Chiang Mai driving school to get my riding license. So anyway, before this I have uh, zero experience on the bike. So when I came here, when I texted them online, LINE, they mentioned that they suggested for me to come for a basic riding course, which cost me around 1000 baht. And that was from 8 a.m. until 12 noon on a weekend, on a Saturday. It was fun. You get to hands on the bike, and they let you wear the knee pads, arm pads, helmet, and safety vest, and you just get to ride around the circuit, and they will teach you like the fundamentals, how you throttle, how you change gear, how you brake, how you go around corners. And if you're good enough, they might even let you try out the circuit that you might eventually do on the actual riding motorcycle license. Yep. So there's 1000 baht, and I would say it's pretty worth it if you haven't done any riding before. Pretty worth it. Okay, and so it begins, the actual motorcycle license. So apparently it takes 2 days. The basic cost is 1000 baht, and that is only for like 8 to 12 noon for 1 day. And then the other 1000 baht is for the actual motorcycle license, which is from 8 a.m. to 5 p.m. for day 1 and 8 a.m. to 5 p.m. on the second day. If you went for the basic course, which is the 1000 baht, 8 a.m. to 12 noon, they will have you do reaction tests. So one of it would be you stepping on a brake, stepping on an accelerator, and once you see the red light turning on, you have to step the brake within 3 seconds, something like that. The next test is to see whether you can line the two things up. So there'll be one pole which is already stationary, which you can't move it, and then another pole which you can move using a device, and you have to make sure that you lined up with the other stationary object. It's relatively easy as well. There are two more. One more test is they will give you like an array of colors, and you need to choose when they point to that color, be it red, green or yellow, you have to say out the color. And last but not least would be you sitting in front of like a station where you put your nose towards like a like to simulate a visor, and they will start having colors to show up like in your corner of your eyes, so you need to look in front and tell the color. Yep, which is quite difficult for me, if I say so myself. And yeah, so if you did that on the basic in the basic course, you won't have to do it again in the license course. So that was good for me. Also, after doing the license, after enrolling in the license course, so I was talking about the day 1. So after you enroll, they'll bring you up to a room, and you will start watching videos, safety videos, and videos that are actually very useful for the test later, the theory test. So you need to watch the theory test, do all the stuff, yada yada yada. They'll tell you about things like the traffic law, the motorcycle, like what things you need to look out for, how to avoid accidents and stuff like that. And afterwards, you get to have a QR code where you can sign in using your phone and keep trying the practice test that they have for you, which has a bank of many questions. Yeah, many questions. So you can keep retrying and retrying, and once you're confident enough, you will be brought into a computer room where you get to do like a little bit harder test using the computer, and you can keep on retrying that too, all the way until 5 p.m, where they have you do the actual test. So the actual test is a bit harder than the practice tests that you have before, because there are questions that have not appeared there before. And I think one of the good websites you can use to learn is, I'll put it down in the description below. Yeah, that website is very helpful, and but not all the answers are correct. so some of it are wrong. So you gotta take note of that. So before I go on and talk about day 2, you need to prepare a bit of documents. First, you can't get a Thai license without getting like at least a year of stay here, which means you need to either get a volunteer visa or education visa or retirement visa. Yep, and afterwards you might want to go to the immigration to get the residential certificate, which cost me around 50 baht, and you need to prepare documents like your picture, your proof of stay, which is your TM30, which should be in your passport. Also bring your passport, and it require you to fill in some form, residential certificate form, as well as you having proof that you have either the education visa or volunteer visa or the retirement visa, and you probably need to wait around 3 weeks to get it. Yep, and also you need to see a doctor, and if you go to any of the clinics or hospital, you probably can tell them here for the driving license, and they'll straight away know that it's for driving, so it will be around 100 baht. Check your blood pressure, ask you questions about how you're feeling and whether you got any illness, and that's all. The people in the driving center are really very nice. Although their English ain't the best, but they try to speak to you in a way that is understandable. If not, they will use Google Translate to tell you about what they're trying to get their message across to you. And also, one interesting thing about this place is that you have to scan your fingerprint every 2 hours or so. Yeah, so to prove the authorities that you are there present and not like skiving and just not being there. Also, you will need to do a ATK for the first time that you do the course. So for example, I did a basic course, so I did a ATK, which costed me around 70 baht, but I didn't need to pay the 70 baht. Why? Because I brought my own ATK. So there's one way you can save cost and save time. If not, you'll be doing the ATK test during the license course. Also, I'll be talking about the second day, which is in the morning. We learned about the bikes, the different parts of the bikes, the brakes, the tires, the gas, and etc. So how do you check whether your bike is working and all that? So after learning about the bikes, straight away they brought us to do the circuit, which consisted of the S course, the crank course, the roundabout, and also the slope. So if you don't have much experience, you might have some trouble. But I think most importantly, if you can balance on a bicycle, it will help you in balancing on a motorcycle. Yep. And so that's basically the morning. And afternoon, they brought us to do the orange plank to see our balance. And most people say it's the 10 seconds balancing on an orange plank. I think the plank is smaller than feet size. Some very huge feet size, but yes, smaller than that, and the length is quite long. Could be worth maybe 2 rooms worth of size. Yeah, 2 bedroom worth of size. After doing the orange plank, you need to do the zigzag across the cones to make sure that you know how to balance on the bike too. Then after that, all you need to do is just wait and receive the certificate at 4:30 p.m. But however, if the previous day, the first day, you failed your theory test, which is not getting 45 out of 50, maybe you get 44 or below, you need to retake the test on this day, which is on the second day, and then you get your certificate after. But if you fail some more, I don't know what's gonna happen, man. Yep. Anyway, so in the best scenario, if you brought everything, your your residential certificate and your medical letter, and you passed everything, the theory test and everything, all you need to do is get a certificate, and afterwards the very next day, you can go to the land transport office, and all you need to do is just walk to the counter, pay 150 baht, and then you basically got your motorcycle license. Yeah. And for me, mine was a special case where I stayed back on the second day because I requested for them to help me to do the conversion of my car license as well. So I stayed back on the second day after 4:30 to watch like 1 hour of car safety video. Yeah, and it was like 200 baht. So that was quite good. And afterwards I just need to collect it. So anyway, now I'm already at home, and guess what? I got my license, both driving and motorcycle. So what do you have to do after you've given your RC to the motorbike place or the center where you learn the motorbike? Is you collect your documents, and afterwards you proceed to the Chiang Mai Provincial Land Transport Office, where you would then go straight up to the second floor, proceed straight to counter 27. Yes, and then you pass them your documents, and afterwards they ask you to show your passport and show your driving license to them, and all you need to do is just wait for them to call your name, and then they'll arrange a day for you to come back, which most probably might be 2 days later, and they give you a stipulated time. What I need to tell you is, for the stipulated time, do not go before the timing, because the staff will be very busy doing the admin stuff for other riders and drivers. But for you, just go there at the stipulated time, same floor, same place, counter 27. Just pass them the entire bulk of document. Bring your passport and your driving license if you have, and afterwards all you need to do is wait for them to call your name, and then they'll be doing their admin stuff for you. You go there, you sign the additional paper that included in. Afterwards you just need to go to another counter where they will call you on this big TV screen, where you call your ticket number, queue number, and afterwards you can pay. For me, I paid 310 baht. Why? Because 205 for driving license, conversion of driving license, 105 for the motorbike license. So after you paid them, they'll pass you a receipt and some of your documents. Then you will proceed into the office, and afterwards you will wait for your turn, and then you take a picture. Then you can get your license, and then you're gone. It's that easy. Getting license in Chiang Mai is that easy. If I can, you can too. Right, the entire process roughly took around 1 hour and 30 minutes, so be prepared to give at least maybe 2 hours just in case anything goes wrong. One more thing, if you have any other questions or queries, please do type it or comment down below. So if I can do anything to help you answer any of your doubts or questions, do let me know.
Hey, seems like you have made it to the very end. You are the real MVP, and I appreciate you. Also, don't forget to like, share, subscribe, and let's try to get this channel to 100 subs. And if you can, please do share with your friends and your family.